First of all, let me um, enlighten Nigerians about what we passed last, when we came back from recess. It wasn't our own version. It was an executive bill brought by Mr. President, which was a product of intense collaboration, interaction amongst important stakeholders in the country. Particularly, it was something that was initiated by Mr. President. I mean, the bill itself. Talking about the collaboration that took place before the bill was brought. Year in, year out, there have been agitations from various quarters about the need to set up, to allow for the establishment of state police, to alter the constitution, to allow state police services to be established in various states in this country. And even in the last constitutional review exercise that took place in the 9th Senate, we had the same agitations from both, the House of Reps and the Senate, and it was put to vote, but it was defeated. This time around, the agitations become intense because people are beginning to think that, look, why not try to do something, into our security architecture so as to boost what we have currently. And so, of course, we are a country operating under democracy. We've got to listen to the people. We have to listen to the people. In that regard, there were two bills from the Senate, and I think some other bill from the House of Representatives that were brought to for consideration in order to alter the constitution to allow for the establishment of state police in the states of this country. And we took that as part of our exercise. Amongst the bills, it was included amongst the bills that were brought, other bills that were brought. And we had several public hearings, at the zonal level and one at the national level. And we collated, input from various stakeholders. We allowed Nigerians to ventilate their views in respect to this agitation for the establishment of state police. And what the president did, which I should commend him for doing that, what was that the executive stayed on the sideline watching with keen interest and attention in respect to what was happening. And while we were about to put together our report, the presidency, in continuation of what it has been doing in respect to coming out with a robust and well thought out bill, invited us, not only us, even the IGP of police and other experts in policing, experience, were called, and there were intense interactions, collaboration in respect to looking at the entire, what should be brought to National Assembly for passage. And what the president brought to us was a product of that interaction, which is a well thought out, well crafted bill that has taken cognizance of the two sides of the divide, because there are two shades of opinions. One, some people were saying, well, we need state police that will strengthen the security architecture we have so as to create a difference in respect to what is happening in terms of the insecurity we're having, so as to rejig, to energize the security architecture. And some are saying, well, we need that, but the problem is that it could be abused. It might be abused to the detriment of society, human rights issues, that some people in the state will try to manipulate the police service system, the state police service system, to their advantage, maybe persecute their political opponents or use it for ethnic persecution, human rights abuses and whatever. So what the president did, which he should be commended for, is that he took cognizance of these two divides and crafted a bill that has swayed the feelings, that has taking care of these two, different sides of the coin, shades of opinion. The police, the state police service will be established, but there are safeguards to make sure that nobody gets the opportunity to abuse that service to the detriment of the society. Yes, it has been created. It's going to be created. Sorry, it's been proposed to be created. But then there are safeguards. You can't use it for any political persecution because once you do that, there are repercussions. So that said, well, the piece of legislative proposal brought by Mr. President is really wonderful, robust, and it cannot be faulted. And that's why we decided, that's why you couldn't have any dissent. Only one person dissented. Later, he abstained, but everybody, including the opposition, is a multi-partisan, it received multi-partisan support because of the fact that it has been able to assuage the feelings, as I said, ab initio. So it was a wonderful, it's a wonderful piece of legislative proposal. Now, coming to your question, you see, what is needed at this point is to rejig the security architecture. Of course, there are several other things that could be done to enhance our security, but we need to begin from strengthening our security architecture first. And not even that, what the facts you said, talked about, the government is already doing a lot in that regard. What we are trying to do now, or what the president wants to do now, is to add to what is being done. There are several programs that have been brought on board to, ease, make life better for our people. The major thing to be done is to take care of the youth. And as we speak, the president brought a wonderful program that we have never seen in this country before now, the NEL Fund. So every child that wants to be educated can freely access that fund in order to be educated. This is a wonderful program that if we don't have that kind of program, if we didn't have that kind of program, probably we've gotten so many kids on the street becoming problem to the society. So there are several programs. The public hearings were properly done, because we went to all zones, and the zones in all the states in each zone were represented. Not only the state governments, but civil society organizations, individuals, and what have you. It was open to everybody. Were publicized, televised live. So it was open for everyone, and the participation was really okay. And everything, we opened, everything was left open for everyone to discuss about. So it was given that publicity that, it needed to have. Now, the safeguards we're talking about is this. Yes, as I said earlier, some people are thinking that the state police system will allow some people at the state level to use it as an instrument of persecution, intimidation, and even human rights abuses and what have you. But as I said earlier, there are safeguards. This can range from making sure nobody has total authority on the police service in each state. You have the State Police Service Commission, where the commander shall be appointed by the governor, but with the recommendation of the National Police Council. So it's not the governor that will go outrightly, right, to appoint the commander of the state police. The National Police Council will, because the National Police Council constitute, you have, members of that council, include, of course, the president, the governors, the IGP, other police experts, former retired police, high-ranking police personnel will also be part of that council. So professionalism will be brought to bear in making sure that the person appointed, to be appointed in a state, is really qualified. And there are safeguards to protect such an individual from being manipulated or forced to do certain things that are not in line with the law. So he is well protected, so he will be able to work independently without any fear of being intimidated by anyone.
Are you saying because he's appointed by a police council, the outfit will work independently?
Sure, yes, that's what it means. What I mean here is that what people thought was that maybe a certain high-ranking person in each state will appoint the commander, and so that commander will then act in line with the whims and caprices of such person. But that is not the case, because the system will not allow for just one person to appoint the commander, and that commander will now do whatever such person asks him to do. So that is that respect, right? And even in terms of the standard of operation, it has to be decided by the Constitution as well as the Act of National Assembly, by the Act of National Assembly and the State Assembly as well. So these are real wonderful safeguards that will not allow for abuse. Apart from that, in case the police force, the police service in the state now derail completely and begin to act in a manner that is inimical to the entire federation or to the state, or doing things that will compromise the security of the entire nation or the sovereignty or the interest of the nation, then there are safeguards to disable that force, that service at that state. And the federal police service will take over the police, the work or the command of the state police. So these safeguards are wonderful safeguards that will not allow anybody to mess around with state police.
All right, we're talking about safeguards. We have all seen what is happening with some state independent electoral commissions, which are being controlled by the state assemblies. And in the case of the state police too, the state assemblies are going to be making the laws.
You make mention of the state electoral commission. We've learned from that, and that's why we commend the president for carefully crafting this bill. That will not allow it to happen. We have the minimum national standard of operation of the state police system that will be enshrined in an Act of National Assembly. No state police service will be allowed to go below the national minimum standard. No one will be allowed to derail. Yes, the state legislators will also make laws for the state police, but that law shall not conflict with the Act of National Assembly or the Constitution. Once it conflicts with that, whatever they pass at the state level will be null and void. So we have understood, the president understands that. That's why he carefully crafted this bill. There are safeguards. No one at all going with the bill, because the bill is wonderful. This has been allayed. So it's not possible. It's no longer, going to be like the State Electoral Commission. No. If you look at the bill, you have what we call the national minimum standard that shall be specified in an Act of National Assembly. And no state police service can be allowed to go below the national minimum standard. When it does so, when that is done, when it derails, of course, the president can invoke the relevant section to get the police service of that state disabled. So, number two, the second question you asked, we are yet to come to the issue of funding. It will be specified in the Act of National Assembly. We are coming there. All that will be discussed through robust interaction and well, you're talking about jurisdictions now. Yes, the federal police, of course, will deal with the federation. Matters to do with the federation, matter to do with interstate, matter to do with organized crime like cyber crime, like crime that have international dimension, and of course like anything that has to do with the federation. Whereas the state, police service will take care of law and order in the state and ensuring the protection of the lives and property of the people of the state, and in line with the law passed with the state and by the state assembly that are not in conflict, with the Act of National Assembly and the Constitution.
All right, there's already this existing issue about rivalry among security agencies, and that has also affected intelligence. That's the perceived notion. How does this bill ensure that there will not be any form of rivalry between the federal and the state policing system that would lead to sort of dangerous intelligence gaps? Well,
that's why I've been commending Mr. President for carefully crafting this bill. All these issues have been taken care of because there are clear demarcations, in terms of operations, in terms of what each one has to do in carrying out this constitutional mandate, in terms of its operations. But the other facts, the nitty-gritty, all these minute facts will be encapsulated in the Act of National Assembly. So this will be part of what will be in the Act of National Assembly, because we are going to look at how these things will be strengthened, in a way that there won't be an abuse of the system. That what we experienced in the past in terms of rivalry we're talking about and all the things that are being inhibited in the smooth operation of the Nigerian police force as it currently is, we will make sure that that wouldn't repeat itself in the new arrangement. Take that to the bank. I can assure you this. Everybody is serious. Mr. President is very serious about this new innovation into our security architecture. And I can tell you, no stone will be left unturned to make sure that all these aberrations that are happening currently will no longer allow to occur in the new arrangement. Take that to the bank. Let's be optimistic. Let's be optimistic. I can tell you that a lot is being done. There is the political will on the side of Mr. President. There is the passion to collaborate with the president on the side of executive. The current police force is really determined. The governors are determined. Everybody is determined. The citizenry. Everybody wants this to succeed in order to boost and rejig our security architecture. That for you to have an effective policing system, police service arrangement that will really deal with the insecurity we are facing, you need to engage those who are part of that same society, those who know every corner of that society. They will be able to work harder rather than bringing. Well, we are not saying there won't be strangers coming to work, like those in the federal police. No, the federal police will work, and the sons of the soil, or the sons and daughters of the soil, will also engage in that exercise of bringing security to a particular area, to all the nooks and crannies of this country. So when you have the might of the federal police service and the might of the state police service that has been, constituted by citizens of that area, indigenous of that area, who were born in that area, who know every corner of that area, I think it makes sense. It makes sense. Like now, you talk about Zamfara. You have police force service that has been dominated by the people of Zamfara, who know every corner of that area, who know where these bandits are. I think that will help. It makes sense. So I think it's a wonderful arrangement, and it has worked in other jurisdictions, and we don't think, we're optimistic it's going to work here.
All right,
So all what we need now is support.
I hear you.
Right?
Your Excellency.
Yes.
I know you said something about being optimistic that it's going to work. But if we take a look at the next...
It's not only optimism. We're talking from experience. We're talking about common sense, right? Like now, you know where it pinches. When matter comes in any matter that has to do with you, right? Somebody who has a room, he knows where is where it has problem, right? So we believe that the those who are going to operate the police, who are indigenous of that area, will know that area better. Will be able to pursue bandits. We'll be able to get them. We'll be able to bring them to justice. Take it to the bias is going to work. From what is going on, from the passion being put into these arrangement, from everything that everybody is putting into this arrangement, is going to be successful. Let's be optimistic based on the political will of Mr. President, based on our own passion, our desire to contribute, the desire of the governors to contribute, desire of well-meaning Nigerians to contribute into making sure that this arrangement works. We should be optimistic. There is light, there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. It will change the entire scenario for the better.
Yeah, speaking about support, what is the level of communication between the National Assembly and state assemblies at the moment? Because this bill is still going to move to them, and you need
fantastic
from them.
Fantastic.
So what's the level of
fantastic. They're going to do the right thing. Yes, they will approve by grace of God. It's a wonderful piece of legislation. The Senate has passed the bill. The House will pass. Once the House is able to do so, then it will be transmitted to the states for their concurrence. So,
when will that be?
Sorry?
When will that be?
As soon as possible. As soon as possible. Once the House gets done with it, then it will move to the states. Why did I say so? Because I'm not in control of what others in the enterprise are going, the speed they are going to apply. But what I want to assure you, or what I want to emphasize to you, is that everyone in this exercise has that passion, has that willingness to making sure that this thing, the whole exercise is done with as soon as possible. That is what I know. I take that to the bank. And I want to assure you that you might be surprised that the entire thing will be done before the time you are even thinking in your minds that it will be concluded. Right. But the fact is that once we are done with the constitutional alterations, we have to come down to now, craft the Act of National Assembly that will deal with the nitty-gritty of the system. You should understand that. So we don't, because we need to do the alteration first to bring the police services in the states to life, all right, change the nomenclature of the whatever is the Constitution, because everything in the Constitution refers to the Nigerian Police Force. Now you have to make sure that that's what the bill, of course, is seeking to do now, replacing where you have the Federal Police Force, Nigerian Police Force, to Federal Police Service, to State Police Services, where you have National Police Council to Federal Police Council, and for the State Police Council, and where you have the National Police Service Commission to Federal Police Service Commission, and then to the State Police Service Commission. So most of the alterations are in line with this change in nomenclature. You see, that is why I continue to commend Mr. President for his foresight in crafting this bill, because the issue of safeguard is fundamental in order to assuage the feelings of those who were feeling or are still feeling that they shouldn't be state police because of possible abuse. Now, because of that, the importance of this very issue, it has been incorporated in the Constitution, in the amendment, in the bill, not in the Constitution because it has not been passed, in the bill. So there are, repercussions for flouting, or derailing, or using the state police force to persecute, intimidate.
In the bill?
Yeah, sure.
But we didn't get to see
Is there in the bill? Is there in the bill? Repercussions. The highest is that the police service will be disabled by Mr. President. And the Federal Police Service or the Federal Police Commissioner in that state will take control of the state police service once that is done. So the issue of, we're taking that seriously. Mr. President has taken that seriously.